So after Friday, when volatility jumped up higher and crude oil jumped up higher and everything sold off because of fears of pretty much World War III in the Middle East, starting in the Middle East, things settled down in a big way today. Volatility dropped back down. Stocks surged. Bitcoin jumped higher. AMD, one of the main bigger chip stocks, jumped up nearly 10% by itself. And the NASDAQ led a major rebound today. So let's break it down over the next 5 minutes. Want today's full trade setup and analysis? Watch the full video at marketscholars.com on today's Market Outlook page. The link is in the description down below. All right, so the S&P rallied today, again, reversing pretty much most of what we saw, what we lost on Friday. You can see the decline we had on Friday. We gapped up today and then some, right? We rallied a little bit more, closing above yesterday's high. Yesterday's high there at 60.26. We closed at 60.33. And we had a pretty positive response on the short-term sentiment here on the market forecast. I mean, strong bullish posture, strong market sentiment, the near-term line, momentum line bouncing higher. As we still maintain about a 2.5% jump up above the 30-day moving average here. The VIX had a big drop today. So when we take a look at the VIX, you'll see here that the VIX dropped. Let's bring the VIX up here on this chart. We jumped above the 200-day moving average yesterday on the VIX, its own 200-day moving average, and dropped back down below it, even though we're still above some of the shorter-term averages there. So it was a nice drop. It was, we dropped down with 9%, I believe. We're down to 19. We're back below that key kind of 20 level. Anytime you're above 20, you drop back below 20, you end up staying below it for quite a while, and you make a little bit of a run down towards lower levels. That's a good sign. Now you can see the momentum has been relatively positive for volatility. As you can see, we've pretty much been grinding with a couple fits and starts here. But today's move was a nice move in the right direction to get us back down and to get us back below the 90% mark, get us back below 20, as I mentioned, and get that volatility of the VIX, the VVIX, down back below 110 and working its way in the right direction as well. All right, before we move on to the next chart, hit the like button down below, share the video with others, and subscribe along with that bell notification so you don't miss tomorrow's video. So you can see at the very beginning of the day, this was a classic risk-on day. You can see technology rallied to the upside. Communication services rallied to the upside. Financials rebounded because they were one of the bigger losers on Friday. And you can see discretionary also was up there and finished the day. In fact, those four sectors are the only ones. If you take a look at the Mag 7 names themselves, you can see some pretty good moves across the board. Apple up 1%. Microsoft up almost 1%, Nvidia up 2%. Remember, Apple's kind of on a bearish move right now. Amazon's doing well, Google's doing well, Meta, which is, again, Google and Meta being in that XLC sector. Tesla had a nice little rebound of 1% today. Netflix, CRM, after being its own bearish move, is rebounded. So all of these big tech names all showing strong bullish postures. But the biggest one of all, really, today, that had the biggest move was AMD. AMD was a strong mover. It's been on the bullish trend, but today up nearly 9% as it gapped. Again, bouncing off the 17-day moving average, breaking back above the 8, breaking above the 200, away from the point of control with a big, strong surge in volume. You can see if I take a look at its 3 green arrow chart, you can see obviously we've had we had the 3 green arrow period where we switched from 3 reds to 3 greens, and you had a good momentum move, and then we've just been grinding for the past few weeks. And then today you can see 3 green arrows again, strong above average volume, has the potential of starting a new run, new long period of 3 green arrows here. So when you look at the S&P today, breaking up again closer to that 6100 here. Let's pull up SPX. Breaking up closer to 6100. So we're getting much closer to that 6150 level. And a breakout above that level has a really good opportunity of continuing the move to the upside. You can see the point of control for the 1-year chart is pretty high. It's very elevated. So we're very, aside from the drop and the rebound, we've been pretty sideways and we're pretty top heavy. which it can be a negative thing if we were trading below, especially if we're trading below the point of control. But considering that we're above it and we have an opportunity to move into options expiration, and we're pretty darn close to breaking above the value area, a break above that, a break above 6150 can really set us loose on what could be a pretty decent run post pre-correction high point. And today I put in the full market outlook live video, we focus on a trade idea that takes advantage of that move, especially in the sectors that we were looking at here just earlier. Get the full market outlook video with today's trade setup, a macro commentary and intermarket analysis at marketscholars.com on today's market outlook blog post. This is for foundation members, and you can join today for $29 a month. It works out to being less than $1.40 a video, unless you do the yearly subscription where you get 2 months for free, and that ends up going to $1.20, a little bit less than $1.20 per video. So watch before the close for you foundation members for the full trade breakdown before the market closes. We do that during the Market Outlook Live, as well as managing old Market Outlook trades. Thank you very much for watching today, and we'll see you all tomorrow.